So before we do start this video, there's two things that is very important to notice. Point number one, these photos that was released earlier today did come from a public website, so it's not stolen nor is it piracy. Point number two, the person who shared these, his name is Musk Rizvi. I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly, but we know the person that released these photos. In other words, concept art for Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. So if you search his name on Google, you'll find out that they're concept artists at Marvel Studios. So this was definitely shared by one of the workers within Marvel. And most importantly, point number three, because this is concept art, let's not take this too serious and say that, you know, this concept art is exactly what we're going to be seeing in Doomsday and in Avengers Secret Wars. A lot of these scenes and photos here could or could not happen during the movie. But here's the thing, even if some of these things do not happen or they do happen, it still brings us to one very big conclusion. We know the general idea on how Marvel is going to be tackling Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Like, what is going to be the main plot line for the end of the multiverse saga. That is what makes this whole thing very exciting. Now, before I even go further into this video, I'm going to be very careful because there's a lot of concept arts that was released and I'm not going to go through all of it because point number one, I just want to cover the main meat of the concept arts, and point number two, I for sure do not want to get this video taken down, nor do I want to see my YouTube channel get red flagged, because the fact that we have already seen the concept art get taken down in that public website, it basically means that whoever's working at Marvel, whether it's the security or whatever, they're taking down the people who are sharing these concept arts. So that is the reason why I'm not going to go through every single piece of concept art. If you guys do want to see all of it, you guys can go on Reddit, you guys can go on X, but it's not going to be here on YouTube and especially on my channel. And later in this video, we're also going to be talking about one of the big executives of Marvel Television also claiming that after Avengers Secret Wars, Marvel is going to go through a soft reboot and not a full reboot. All of that is going to be explained in the video later, but let's go back to the concept art, and we're going to be starting off with the biggest one. Here we can see Doctor Doom on the chair with an evil version of Doctor Strange on his right side, and on his left side we see Sue Storm with Franklin Richards. It's crazy to see this piece of art here. So not only does this confirm they're adapting the 2015 Secret Wars storyline, but we're getting God Emperor Doom. Just look at his white clothing. Sue Storm is also going to be the wife of Doctor Doom. We're also getting an evil Strange working for Doctor Doom. If you look at the place that they're in a time where it's medieval times, most likely this variant that we are seeing from Doctor Strange is Sheriff Strange from the comics, who does serve as Doctor Doom's right hand in Battleworld. Also, if you do look at where they're at, like we have stated, it is in medieval times, and where they're most likely at is Doomsday, which is the capital domain of Battleworld, and where God Emperor Doom lives with his family, which is once again Susan Franklin. It's also the exact same place where Sheriff Stephen Strange and his left hand, the Foundation, do operate. Doomsday was the place where courts were held by Strange under the supervision of Doom and the Work Corps, and in this building in particular, they are in Castle Doom, which is the home of Doctor Doom. This was around the time where Doctor Doom took over the government and killed King Valdemir. He destroyed the castle in the capital city and had himself proclaimed ruler of Latveria, and he began to use that castle as a place where he can plan what else he does want to do when it comes to world domination. Here's also going to be another really good look at how Doctor Doom might look like in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. Once again, this may or may not be accurate, but it does give us a general idea of what Marvel is going for. Now, if Kevin Feige can give us anything like this, it would be amazing. Like, this guy just looks badass and he looks like he's ready to conquer everything. And can you just imagine what that moment is going to feel like when we see this character and he takes off his mask? The whole world just sees, right, that it is Robert Downey Jr. I really do think that with these two pieces of concept art, it does take place in Secret Wars and not Doomsday, because once again, if you notice what Doctor Doom is wearing, they're white robes, and that is God Emperor Doom. That is for sure taken during the Secret Wars storyline, and this is pulled straight out of Hickman's Secret Wars. Now, I am going to be getting into like the theory section of this video. All of this is just speculation. None of this is true. This is just me thinking about what Marvel could be doing here during these scenes. But I really do think that this is taken around a time where Doctor Doom did win against the Avengers. The incursions already happened, and a lot of these characters characters that we are seeing here, I do think that they're under a spell or controlled by Dr. Doom. So it's almost as if everybody wakes up during this medieval time, aka also on Battleworld, and they're just all being controlled. But there is one person that might wake up during this time in the movie and he says, oh my god, like we're all under a spell, we have to fight back, all of this is wrong. That is what's most likely is going to happen, and I think that that is freaking amazing. Also, the 2015 Secret Wars comic event is based on a very similar storyline like this. I mean, like, I don't know, like this is where things get very murky and confusing, because could it be that this could be Doomsday? This could be taking place during Avengers Doomsday and it ends with these characters under a spell and in Battleworld and controlled by Dr. Doom, but only to find out at the end of Avengers Doomsday that they are being controlled and under a spell, which leads up to Secret Wars, right? You secretly have to fight this war without Dr. Doom knowing. I mean, like, who knows? But now the next question is, who could be that one character that does snap out of it and says, oh my god, all of this is wrong? And in my opinion, I believe that it could be Spider-Man. And the reason why I do think it could be Spider-Man is because his film is going to take place between Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. It has to be Spider-Man and Spider-Man only. This also does confirm Spider-Man 4 taking place on Battleworld. Now you may question, but what would make Peter immune to the spell that Dr. Doom created? And in my opinion, I feel like they're going to pull back that spell that was placed upon Peter by Dr. Stephen Strange. And that is it, right? Like, I have no further theories about what could go on after that. I could be completely wrong. This is just me speculating, and this is what I do mean, right, by saying that we may not get these exact same scenes by the time we head towards Doomsday and Secret Wars, but it does give us a general idea on what type of storyline they are tackling. So I'm not going to go any further than this. Once again, if you guys want to see the other concept arts in regards to like other characters, you guys can go find them on X or on Reddit. Spoiler alert, it is going to be referencing the Black Panther played by Damson Idris. You're also going to be seeing the Young Avengers all together on a table with Peter Quill, which is really cool. We're also going to be seeing Peter Quill hanging out with White Vision on a couch, just watching TV, eating pizza. Looks like a lot of fun. You're also going to be seeing like a town of Hulks with She-Hulk and Bruce Banner's Hulk together. Once again, I'm not going to be showing it on here because I don't want to get flagged. But yeah, let's move on towards the next conversation. We are going to be talking about whether Marvel should go on a soft reboot or a full reboot. Currently, right now, the MCU is at a crossroads. With Secret Wars and Doomsday on the horizon, the biggest question isn't just about who will show up, but what comes after. The Marvel TV boss did speak on the possibility of the MCU going through a full reboot after Avengers Secret Wars, and this is what he said, and I quote, "You can't really fully reboot anything. It's a very difficult thing to do to a breathing fictional universe, to just start from scratch because of all the fan investment and love for the stories that have come so far. I have seen what happens at comic companies when things get full reboots, and the truth is, every time there's been a full reboot, DC in particular, it always feels like you can't really fully reboot anything." So this is a massive statement coming from the Marvel TV boss, because many people were speculating, especially the hardcore Marvel fans, that after Secret Wars, the MCU is going to go on a full reboot. Every character is going to be looking different. We're going to be starting from scratch, from Iron Man 1 to Captain America 1, etc. That was the biggest theory coming from the fans. But will Marvel actually reboot the entire universe? I don't think so. And let me explain. Kevin Feige, in particular, does prefer continuity over reboots. So as long as Kevin Feige is in charge, the max Marvel is going to receive is a soft reboot after Avengers Secret Wars. Kevin Feige hates full reboots. Marvel's top guy has always preferred to build upon existing stories rather than start from scratch. For example, he wanted to keep Sam Raimi's Spider-Man universe going. He did not want Sony to reboot with Andrew Garfield. And even with the Incredible Hulk from 2008, that was framed as a continuation of Hulk from 2003. So if Feige had full control of everything, we would have even seen the original X-Men and the original Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, to be part of the MCU from the start. Like, we would have literally seen that. Everything would have been connected from the very beginning. It did not matter if the X-Men films were not good nor well received. It did not matter if people did not like Spider-Man 3. To Kevin Feige, he said, "I'm not going to reboot nothing. No one is going to get recasted, and we are just going to build on top of this." So what could we see after Avengers Secret Wars? I do believe that Marvel should approach some things differently. For example, we should bring back legacy characters if they are available and start recasting departed actors. Because look, one of the biggest debates right now is whether Marvel should recast major characters or retire them for good, like Iron Man, Steve Rogers, and T'Challa. Should these roles be passed down or remain untouched? Right now the fans are split based off what I'm seeing, but one thing is very clear. Avoiding recast, which is what Marvel is doing right now, does leave a lot of storytelling potential on the table. I'll get to a few examples in just a few minutes, but there is that resistance from Marvel and Kevin Feige that recasting Iron Man and Captain America is like a bad thing supposedly, but I do hope that after Avengers Secret Wars, all of that could change. So whether it's it's a soft reboot or a full reboot, after Secret Wars, it is going to be a soft reboot. Ideally, I would like to see all the actors that came from phase 1 through 3 to be replaced by younger versions. That would be okay. While the newer actors that were introduced between phase 4 through 6, they can just remain. I would like to see Marvel go on full throttle after Secret Wars. Like, I want to see the Avengers have its movies, the Fantastic Four also have its movies, and some spin-offs. Same thing with X-Men. You can do so much with the X-Men. Let the whole franchise just go. And with all the big characters present, this would also allow for Marvel to bring back T'Challa, which is a character that we do want to see. There is no great Avenger team without T'Challa. The Black Panther is just an amazing character, and us fans do deserve to see him even more because there's still so many more stories to tell. After Secret Wars, this can no longer be a problem. It's also okay to introduce a new Iron Man and also a new Captain America. For example, we have already started with Sam Wilson in some way. So if Marvel does pull off a soft reboot after Secret Wars, the potential for epic crossovers is going to be huge. I know Marvel wants that. I know Marvel love money. And if you love money, then bring us scenes where we can see Tony Stark with Bruce Banner and Reed Richards finally sharing a lab where they can interact with each other, talk about things, the biggest brains in the world in one scene. Like, bro, please make that happen. We can also move on to situations where we can get a proper Dark Phoenix saga, an Avengers versus X-Men film, Hulk versus Wolverine, and then maybe in the future team up. And of course, we can also have street level Spider-Man taking on the Kingpin later down the road alongside with Daredevil. We can have Tom Holland's Peter Parker also mentoring Miles Morales in live action. There's so many things that you could do. Why the hell would you want to fully reboot everything and start from the very beginning when we are just getting started? There's too many great stories to tell. I would hate to see that, you know, we're so close on having Spider-Man and Daredevil team up, or Spider-Man mentoring Miles Morales, or so close to an X-Men versus Avengers film, and all of a sudden we just say we're going to fully reboot everything. Everything's going to be separated from the very beginning, going back to Iron Man 1, Captain America 1, Black Panther 1. No, we do not want that. And I can see the reason why Kevin Feige also does not want that. He is just not a big fan. He wants to be in situations where you're just in the middle of storytelling, where you can do so many things and introduce so many characters in one scene. So I do hope, to end this whole thing right, that Secret Wars actually does shake up the MCU in a very meaningful way and put the MCU in a situation where we can see all characters present and in the same timeline. Now look, I understand why some people would want a full reboot. Of course, not everyone is going to agree on the future of the MCU. Some believe that Marvel should just move on from characters instead of recasting, and I get it. Legacy heroes like Sam Wilson's Captain America should take over rather than bringing back Steve Rogers. I get it. There's the argument for a full reboot starting fresh without the baggage of past missteps like Quantumania and all those other horrible projects or Secret Invasion. Plus, there's the concern that expanding the MCU too much could dilute storytelling. It is a lot to consider. I get it. I really do resonate with the people who are countering a soft reboot, but the best way to go moving forward and for the next 10 plus years is to just go for a soft reboot and recast, please, the OG Avengers if you so please. Or if you want, because this is a multiverse movie, just bring back Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and Scarlett Johansson. Why not? It would really bring Marvel back on track. So Marvel's future is about to change big time. Let me know what you think in the comments. Should Marvel recast Iron Man and Captain America? Do you need a full reboot? Hit that like button if you're excited for the future of the MCU, because I am, and don't forget to subscribe for more Marvel breakdowns. I'll see you in the next one.